The next topic that we are going to discuss is time domain specifications. Okay, so this is a unit step response of a second order system, the prototype second order system. Okay, so we will discuss the specifications one by one. First, we will discuss percentage maximum overshoot, or you can say percentage peak overshoot. Okay, and the peak time, TP. Okay, so what is maximum overshoot? Percentage maximum overshoot, it is nothing but the maximum overshoot divided by the steady state value of the output into 100. Okay, so this will give the percentage overshoot. But what is maximum overshoot? Okay, this is represented in the diagram here. It is the difference between the maximum value of the output and the steady state value, that is 1 in this case. Okay, so this is the maximum overshoot. So we can write maximum overshoot, percentage maximum overshoot is percentage MP is equal to Y max minus 1 divided by steady state output is 1 into 100. Okay, so we will see how to find out Y max. We've already derived the unit step response of a second order system. What was it? This is given by 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega nt divided by root over 1 minus zeta square into sine omega n root over 1 minus zeta square t plus theta. What is theta? Theta is cos inverse zeta. Okay, or cos theta is equal to zeta. Now from here, how do we find the maximum value? We just have to differentiate the output and equate it to 0. Then we will get the time at which maximum value will occur. Okay, so that time at which the maximum value will occur is called as the peak time TP. Okay, so that is what is represented in the diagram also, the value of time at which the maximum value is reached. Okay, so if you differentiate this expression and you equate it to 0, then the final expression that you're going to get is sine of omega n root over 1 minus zeta square t is equal to 0. Okay, so I'm not explaining this simplification step by step because it is very lengthy, but you can do it yourself. It is quite easy. You just have to use the different trigonometric functions. Okay, so what is the solution for this sine omega n root over 1 minus zeta square t is equal to 0? Now when any sine of anything is equal to 0, it means that that argument will be an integer multiple of pi. Okay, because if you take the sine function, it will be 0 at periodic intervals. This is 0, this is pi, this is 2 pi, 3 pi. Okay, so every integer multiple of pi will lead to sine function being 0. Okay, so here we can write omega n root over 1 minus zeta square t is equal to n into pi, where n is an integer. Okay, this is n and this is pi. Okay, then what is the time? T is equal to n pi divided by omega n root over 1 minus zeta square. Okay, so here is n is an integer value, but it will be greater than 0. Why? Because if n is equal to 0, then time t will simply be equal to 0. Okay, so that doesn't make any physical sense to us. And if n is negative also, the time will be negative. That is not what we are looking for. Okay, so n will start from 1. Okay, it can be 1, 2, 3 and so on. So now we will see what these different values of n actually mean. Okay, first we will substitute this expression n pi by omega d. Instead of omega n root over 1 minus zeta square, we took omega d. Okay, so we substitute it in the expression of the output, right? So we started out with finding the maximum value of y of t. So how will we find out the maximum value of y of t? We have to differentiate. We have differentiated and equated to 0 and we have found the corresponding time. Now we have to again substitute this time in the output equation. So we can find out the maximum value of y of t. Okay. So y of t 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n into t by root over 1 minus zeta square sine omega dt plus theta. Right. So y max will be 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n into t. We will write n pi by omega. We are substituting the value of t that we got. Okay, divided by root over 1 minus zeta square into sine omega dt was n pi. So n pi plus theta. Okay, now if you consider the sine function, okay, if you consider the sine function, then if you take a odd integer multiple of pi, that is pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, like that. Okay, so when you take pi plus some theta will give you a negative value. Okay, again this is 2 pi and this is 3 pi. 3 pi plus some value of theta will again be a negative value, right? So whenever n is odd, then the sine n pi plus theta will be negative. What will happen when it is negative? This whole function will be greater than 1 because we have a negative sign here. Okay, so for odd values of n, we will have values which are greater than 1. Okay, and similarly you can verify that for even values of n, you will have sine n pi plus theta to be positive. So this expression will be less than 1. So for odd values of n, you will have overshoots. Okay, and for even values of n, you will have undershoots. Okay, as simple as that. Then what will be the maximum value of output y max? It will be the first overshoot because as time increases, the overshoots will reduce in their magnitude. Okay, so y max will be the first overshoot. Okay, so you have to substitute n is equal to 1. Okay, so when you substitute n is equal to 1, then you will get y max is 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega n into pi by omega d. Okay, divided by what is root over 1 minus zeta square? It is sine theta. Why? Because cos theta is zeta. Okay, and sine of pi plus theta. Sine pi plus theta will simply be minus sine theta. Right? So this you will get as 1 minus 1 plus e to the power minus pi zeta by root over 1 minus zeta square. Okay. So from here you can find out the maximum overshoot or the peak overshoot. This will be y max minus 1 divided by 1 into 100. Right. So this you will get as e to the power minus zeta pi by root over 1 minus zeta square into 100. Okay, so this is the expression of maximum overshoot. Okay, now from here you can find out the peak time also. Tp will be equal to, we saw that T is n pi by omega d, so maximum value of y is occurring at n is equal to 1. So we have Tp is equal to pi by omega d. Okay, so this is the expression for the peak time. One more important thing that you can notice here is we can also find out the time at which the first overshoot, the different overshoots, okay, first overshoot, second overshoot, third overshoot, okay, and even the undershoots, at what time they will occur, we can find out. How? By different values of n. So we know T is equal to n pi by omega d, right? And for odd values of n, we have overshoots. So for n is equal to 1, we have the first overshoot. For n is equal to 3, we have the second overshoot. And for n is equal to 5, we will have the third overshoot, and so on. Okay. And similarly, if you take even values of n, okay, so the first overshoot will occur at n is equal to 2. So this is the first undershoot. Okay. And at n is equal to 4, you will have the second undershoot. So like that, you can find out the time at which the overshoot occurs. What is the number of overshoot that occurs at each of the time? Here we have a summary of overshoots and undershoots. Okay, so overshoot or undershoot, it will occur when t is equal to n pi by omega d. Okay, and for odd numbers you will have overshoots. For even numbers you will have undershoots. Okay, so first overshoot will occur when n is equal to 1, right? And the first undershoot will occur when n is equal to 2. Okay, and similarly you can find out the value of the nth overshoot and undershoot. Okay, just the undershoot, just the overshoot or undershoot. Okay, not the entire value of the output. Like if you have the output like this, okay, so what is the value of one overshoot? This is the overshoot. Okay, and this is the value of the undershoot, first undershoot, and this is the value of second undershoot. Okay, so that value is given by e to the power minus n pi zeta by root over 1 minus zeta square. Okay, so if you substitute odd values of n, you will have overshoots, the magnitude of overshoots, and for even values of n, you have the magnitude of undershoots. Okay, and one more important thing you have to realize here is the unit step response is not periodic. Why? Because the value of the undershoots and overshoots, they are decreasing with time. Okay, so the same value is not occurring at each time, but the overshoots and undershoots, they are occurring at periodic intervals. Okay, so this value here between one overshoot and undershoot, that is given by this value. Okay, pi by omega d. Next we will discuss the rise time. Okay, so the rise time for an overdamped system, it is defined as the time required for the step response to rise from 10% to 90% of the final value. Okay, so what is the final value? It is 1 in our case because we've taken a unit step input, right? So 10% to 90% implies that when the value is from 0.1 to 0.9, this is defined as the rise time for an overdamped system. Okay, but for we have taken an underdamped system. Okay, so for underdamped system, it is the time taken to rise from 0 to 100%. That means from 0 to 1. So this is what is represented by this TR in the diagram. Okay, so now we have to find out the rise time. How do we find that? So since it is from 0 to 1, we just have to find out the time at which the output y of t will reach the value 1. Okay, so what is the value of y of t? It is 1 minus e to the power minus zeta omega nt divided by root over 1 minus zeta square into sine omega dt plus theta. Okay, so this should be equal to 1. Okay, so 1 is equal to 1 minus this value. So 1 and 1 will get cancelled. You will be left with sine omega dt plus theta is equal to 0. Okay, because this term here, this entire term, it will not be equal to 0. Okay, so sine omega dt plus theta should be equal to 0. So whenever sine of something is 0, then what should be the value of that argument? It is n pi. Omega dt plus theta is equal to integer value of pi. Okay, so t you will get as n pi minus theta by omega d. Okay, so if you substitute n is equal to 0 or some negative value, then time will become negative. Okay, but we want a positive value of n, so that will occur when n is equal to 1. So pi minus theta by omega d is the rise time. Okay, theta you can write as cos inverse zeta. So this can also be written as, this is TR, rise time. So this can also be written as pi minus cos inverse zeta by omega d. The next specification that we have is delay time. So this is represented by TD. Okay, so it is the time required to reach 50% of the final value. Okay, so in this case, since final value is 1, the output should be 0.5 when it reaches the delay time. Okay, so this is represented as TD in the graph. Okay, 0 to 0.5. This is given by 1 plus 0.7 zeta by omega n. So we will not be deriving this because it is a little more complex. So this value is also, it is an approximation. Okay, so delay time is 1 plus 0.7 zeta by omega n. Okay, next we have settling time. Okay, settling time is the time that is required for the output to reach and stay within specified tolerance limits. Okay, for example, in the diagram that we have taken 5% tolerance. Okay, so this is the settling time TS. You can see that after the settling time, the output is staying within the 5% limits. What is 5% limits? 1 plus, for 5% of 1 is 1.05, 1 minus 5% of 1 is 0.95. So it is staying within the 5% tolerance limit. Okay, the output. Okay, so the time taken for the output to be within these limits, that is called as the settling time. Okay, so you have to remember that for different values of tolerance limits, you will have different values of settling time. Okay, so for this 5% tolerance, we have TS is equal to 3 by zeta omega n. Okay, and for 2% tolerance, this is also often asked. So for 2% tolerance, the settling time is TS is equal to 4 by zeta omega n. Okay, so you can just remember these values of settling time for different tolerances. Don't forget. So here you have a summary of all the time domain specifications that we have discussed till now. Okay, so the peak overshoot is given by e to the power minus zeta pi by root over 1 minus zeta square into 100. Okay, the peak time Tp is given by pi by omega d. The delay time is given by 1 plus 0.7 zeta by omega n. The rise time Tr is given by pi minus theta, or you can say pi minus cos inverse zeta by omega d. Okay, and settling time Ts for different tolerance limits. 2% is 4 by zeta omega n, and 5% tolerance is 3 by zeta omega n. Okay, and one more thing is the time constant. Okay, so this is 1 by zeta omega n for 0 less than zeta less than or equal to 1. Okay, so this applies only for critical damped and under damped system. Okay,